Hello and welcome to this what should we call this? Quarantine episode.
Quarantine episode.
Self-isolation episode.
Stay-at-home episode.
Yeah, well, we always record at home.
Well, yeah, but nobody else can be here.
We'll just say isolation episode of 9 to 5 Nerds with Robert Swathwood and Katrina Swathwood.
Hello.
No guests.
No guests.
We are self-isolating. The last episode was recorded before things got bad.
Before it went all Billy Joel.
Yeah, before it went all Billy Joel or REM or wherever you want to go. But yeah, so that episode sounds a little dated.
Just a little bit?
Just a little bit.
Because it wasn't so bad here?
It wasn't so bad here. And as far as the virus goes, we're not going to dive into it and talk about it much because everybody's sick of hearing it. But we are in San Diego County, and it seems that San Diego County is holding up better than some other places.
It's holding up a lot better than some other places.
Yeah, well, I mean, New York and Washington and stuff. And, it seems that our hospitals aren't going to be overwhelmed the way other places are. So
thankfully.
We're very thankful for that. And it has to do with, our governor saying one thing and our mayor from our city, getting even more strict and having police officers at the beaches and the parks and
just shut that shit down.
Yeah. But we're gonna, with the extra time that we've been given,
we've been doing nothing.
Yeah. But
stress eating.
Yeah, drinking, and that sort of thing. My sleep habits are really off.
Oh, staying up till like midnight and waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
being
it's
like, oh my
really,
God.
It's really weird because
every Sunday I don't want to go to work the next day.
Katrina's still working and I'm working as well.
Reduced schedule.
Yeah, I have a reduced schedule, but I'm still. We're all fine. If anybody wants to know, kids are fine. We're doing fine.
They're fine.
Yeah, they're going stir crazy, but everybody's safe and healthy as of this moment, and we are trying to stay inside as much as possible. Other than me having to work a couple days and
getting some exercise.
Yeah, going out on walks with the dog in our local neighborhood and trying to support local businesses
as much as
we can, like people we've talked to about on here, like North Park Beer Company and Society and local places to eat and stuff. People that we've had on here before, and we're trying to support them in that way. But with the weird sleep schedules and some of the extra time we've been watching more new stuff.
Yeah.
So my goal on these is to talk about
things that we're
at least one movie, one new show, and then one possible something else, whether it's a video game, a comic book,
something.
I downloaded Comixology, so we can read comics on there as well.
Okay.
We've never talked about Murder Falcon on here, and you wanted to read it and finish.
Well, I have a deadline. I need to read something new by tomorrow, and I was reading my Carrie Fisher book, which is great. It's just the chapters are really, really long, and it has a lot of information, so it's hard to sit down and read a chapter a night. But no, I read that book, The Beauty and the Beast offshoot, and then I read A Dog's Purpose.
Yeah.
So.
Also, if it sounds a little bit different, we moved back to our Blue Yeti mic. We're not going to set up a full scale recording studio like we usually have with just the two of us recording.
We will need to do that when we do Parker's Play, which we still need to do.
Yes, we are. Our oldest was cast in the lead as a lead in a play for school, and he spent a month memorizing his lines, and then all the school shut down.
The week before
his play
performance.
So we will be performing his play on here. This is so anybody that knows us, that wants to support the kids, and any family members, friends, can listen to that play. It will be on at some point, and I'd say in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, we got some time.
I believe we're going to record it this weekend. I told him this last weekend, but we have been trying to stay busy, and we have been getting busy here and there. But But the goal of these episodes are probably going to be 30 to 45 minutes, and we're just going to try to do a new show. This one might be a little longer, a little more stuff to talk about because we have watched
quite a few things.
And
so what's first? What are we talking about
first? Let's go back to what we first watched because we watched McMillions.
Okay.
Which, if you don't know, is about the McDonald's Monopoly game and the fraud that happened with that on somebody stealing the pieces and distributing them. Which
is funny because it seems like it started from nearly the very beginning when the game started.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what how
because it was like 89.
He didn't do it for that long, did he?
He did. Like, he was stealing them from, the like onset.
A decade?
Yeah. It was so strange. But no, like, I remember playing that game as a kid. And I loved putting out my little board and putting my stickers on the board.
Did you get with friends or family or
anything?
No,
it was all me.
Yeah? You weren't like, if you get this one, I'll trade you this one and we can collect it together?
Okay, I didn't really have friends.
Oh.
So, that didn't work out. But no, it sucked because my mom would have to go get different things for all of us. So, like, if I had McDonald's for dinner, my dad had something else. And, like, she would go to, like, 3 different restaurants before going home, which just sounds stupid. And then, like, she would get me McDonald's in the morning before going to school. Like, I had a very healthy childhood.
Sounds like it.
So,
I didn't notice, and I think you said the same thing, that you could get the pieces in magazines. I
didn't know that either. And, like, I think you could also mail in for a piece, which I think is kind of strange. But, no, I used to always go get it, like, off the hash brown and, like, the Egg McMuffin.
Drinks.
I didn't really do drinks. Like, I would usually get orange juice.
Okay.
I was a big McDonald's breakfast fan. I've always been a fan of their breakfast.
You know what's funny? Like, everybody likes the Egg McMuffin and the Sausage McMuffin, but their full breakfast is very underrated. I remember loving that as a kid with the pancakes and the egg and the sausage.
I wasn't a big fan of the pancakes.
Oh, that was the best part.
And I had never been a fan of scrambled eggs. So
you shit all over my breakfast.
That's my problem. But no, I went to school with a girl in grade school whose dad owned a McDonald's. So
nice.
Whenever she would have sleepovers, they would do the hash browns, but they wouldn't like deep fry them. They would like cook them in the oven.
Nice.
But no, that was like a complete score.
The only thing we had was in high school, one of our friends' parents owned 2 7-Elevens. And we would go there when we knew the hot dogs were about to be bad.
Oh, God.
Because you
can't... Like, how long do they have to wait until they're bad?
I don't know what the regulations
days?
are. My friend Adam worked there, but, like, I mean, I don't think they could be on for more than a certain amount of hours, so we'd go right at the end. It wasn't, like, days.
Would you get, like, a phone call? Like, hey, they're going to go
No, we just knew what time it was. And you'd get, like, a little free...
You knew the changing of the guard of the hot dogs?
Exactly. And then we'd have these little free sample Slurpee cups.
Okay.
So we'd go hang out with Adam and this guy Jesse back in the day. But no, the McMillions thing.
So the special agent who like totally steamrolled this like whole operation was like one of the best parts of that documentary.
Was great.
Because he is so freaking crazy.
Yeah, you would not want to hang out with that person in real life.
And he works for the FBI.
Yeah, still. Still. And he was just like winging shit.
Yeah. Like, oh, we're going to go do this. We're going to have this filming studio. And
I mean, the guy basically took the whole case off of a Post-it note he found on somebody's computer.
Right. It is bananas. Like, and what I found interesting is as you got towards the end of the documentary, it's kind of funny how things got sifted out because you still don't know who the informant is.
Yeah. Well,
someone was told that they were the informant, but I don't think that person was.
Okay.
And like there's just it's a crazy barrage of how they picked people. Mm-hmm. And they were so careful about making sure names didn't match, and you know it wasn't like a sore thumb sticking out like, wait, why is this like person, why is this family winning? Or I just thought that was very clever.
I really liked it at the beginning, but I felt like it kind of started to drag.
It did.
And then it didn't seem to stick the landing at the end because these people that were stealing millions of dollars got like 3 years. You know?
Right.
Well, they got probation.
Right.
And it was just like, come on. Come on.
They wanted the guy who was stealing the pieces. Mm-hmm. That was who they wanted.
And then you never really find out about what happened to him, right?
Well, you don't find out how he did. Well, actually, you do.
Is he dead?
No, he's still in prison. Like, I think he's still serving his sentence.
So that's why he wasn't in the...
But, like, from what he said is, for somehow, I don't know if you remember seeing this, he got a roll of stickers mailed to him by accident.
By accident. And that's how...
And that's how he was able to switch them out.
It was the seal on the envelope inside of the briefcase.
Right. He got basically all these seals mailed to him so he could reseal an envelope. Like, it's like, out of all... Like, how many things had to line up?
I think I heard that Ben Affleck and Matt Damon were doing a movie. And I think it would make a really good movie.
Like, it's one of them playing the guy?
I think it was Matt Damon. I think it was going to be... It was written by them and directed by one of them, and then Matt Damon was going to be in it. And I'm like, that sounds awesome. Matt Damon could be the agent.
And you know what's funny is that guy's been married to like 1 million people. Like, you think he would have told somebody like what was going on.
Yeah, no kidding.
But no, it was really interesting. Like, the gangster guy that died, like, his story was absurd. Mm-hmm. And like his wife just kind of being on board from the beginning.
His brother was one of my favorites.
Oh, God.
His brother and his wife.
Yeah. He made the best decision by getting rid of that piece that he had in his freezer.
And you could tell he was shady when he was younger, but straightened himself out, it seemed.
He kind of had to. Yeah. Like, if you're under a spotlight like that, and it's just kind of like, well, we're watching your brother. If you do one little thing, you know, you're going to get caught up in that too.
Yeah.
And they were just so cavalier about some of the information that they were providing about their brother and their mother. Like, he's under the understanding that his mom is the one that turned in his brother to get his brother's wife.
Okay. Because
she was already serving time in prison for what she was doing, because she was cashing checks.
The wife was nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
No, she was insane.
Yeah.
Off her rocker. Like, totally crazy. But no, so she was serving time, and she was going to get out. And the mom of the son knew that when she got out of prison, she was going to collect her son that she was taking care of. Mm-hmm. So she wanted to hold on to her grandbaby.
Okay.
And basically called in a tip to keep her in jail longer.
That makes sense.
It totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Because from what the FBI is saying is that they never got a call from the IRS. Mm-hmm. Which is what the other lady did, is she told her accountant what happened and why she couldn't pay all these taxes.
Yeah.
So it's insane. And like you said, like, all these people got slaps on the wrist.
Yeah, yeah.
Or, you know, I felt the worst one I felt for was the guy who was adopted.
Yeah, seriously.
And basically was hoodwinked.
Though, didn't he? Didn't he fight? He fought and won.
He fought and got everything overturned to an extent. But his reputation was already ruined. Mm-hmm. And he was living in a small town.
Yeah.
So, you know, with him, I just felt awful because, he made a bad decision because he probably shouldn't have done it. But he was completely hoodwinked by the guy, his, adopted father.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
And then he's a total piece of shit.
Yep.
Like, and trying to guise that, I'm a Mormon and I'm such a good person. And, you know, I got hooked on painkillers and that's why I did all this stuff.
Religion doesn't equal...
No! It was just, but they're still talking, and they still interact. I'm like, oh my God, no, thank you.
Sorry, I'm out.
But no, it was okay.
Yeah,
it was decent.
That's how I felt. Is that it started strong and then it was okay.
Like the crazy stuff with them, how they were like scamming the people to come in and do interviews. That was fantastic.
Yeah. But that was all towards the beginning.
Yeah, and the FBI agent like chasing the guy on the beach to get the check because that was a live check. That was fun.
Showed it, yeah.
That was totally fun, but no, I agree with you. It really was moving towards a climax,
and it didn't get there.
Then it didn't get there.
Yeah.
So it was okay. It's definitely worth a watch if you're interested in the topic.
But how many people are really interested in the topic?
I
was too, obviously, because I'm the one that wanted to watch
right.
it. But I think a dramatization of it would be better.
Okay, fair enough.
Because as of right now, if we were going to rate things, it would be a C to me.
See, I would have said a C+. It was a little bit better than average, but it wasn't much better than average. It did okay.
But to go from a documentary that was okay to a documentary that has lit the entire world on fire.
Oh, are we really going to talk about it?
Yeah, well, we have to, right?
Okay.
So...
I wanted to watch this.
Tiger King?
Yes.
Okay.
And I saw it on Netflix, and it was before all this hype blew up, and I was like, oh my God, this looks so interesting. I was like, I don't know if Robert's
Have you seen any of the memes?
Yes, of course.
About him like holding Simba and.
Oh, I haven't seen that one, but like I've seen all the shirts that have the
socks. Have you seen the socks with it's lions and tigers on the top of the socks,
Bears?
and the foot is him in a cage.
Oh my god!
So Tiger King, if you haven't watched it, is about Joe Exotic, who
it is totally worth your time. You should watch it. Because you will be surprised at how crazy it gets, and then it gets more crazy.
It's the first documentary that I want to watch again.
Really?
Yeah.
Just to see things that you didn't connect
just
before?
Just to be like... And...
I didn't realize how many crazy tiger people there are in the world. Like, it is not a thing.
Not in just the world.
Have you seen the pictures of Post Malone with tigers and stuff?
Mm-hmm. Have you seen the ones that said that you could tell Post Malone was going to be Joe Exotic's third husband?
Yes.
Or fourth husband, I guess.
I don't think so. He's got his own money now. I think
no,
he's
now,
okay.
But I mean, you could totally have seen it.
But no, like,
Bad tattoos.
Like,
likes cats.
Well, you talked about it during when we were watching it. Like, I remember being a kid and going to Marine World because back where I grew up, we didn't have SeaWorld. It was Marine World. And they would have all the kids come up and pet the orca's tongue. And it would freak me out because I'm like, what happens if that orca just, like, slams its mouth shut?
Yeah.
Like, your hand is gone. I'm already missing a hand.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
So, no, I would never, ever, ever get in line for, like, the little pets and things like it. Just made me...
You pet an owl at the zoo?
I did do that.
Yeah. But the San Diego Wildlife Society has a much better reputation than a lot of these places.
Right.
But no, I didn't realize how many big cat people and how easily attainable they are. We live in California, which is kind of a bubble.
Yeah.
Like, and a girl I was dating in high school, her sister, I don't know how she became among these cats, but she raised these cats for like a month at a time and then sent them on their way. And they asked me if I wanted to play with one time. And I was like, yeah, of course I want to play with a tiger. And I did it for maybe 2 minutes and was so uncomfortable and terrified by these tigers that I was like, I don't ever want to do that again. Like, I don't get the appeal. Like, I'm borderline scared of the tigers
as you should be.
Zoo.
And they're behind a net.
Yeah.
An enclosure.
I think what it is we always seem to get there when they're eating. And you can hear them, like,
crunching
growling.
On bones.
Yeah. But,
watching those tigers circle in a cage at feeding time sent my anxiety, like, through the roof.
Because there'd be, like, 10 to 15 of them just, like, running in the cage.
Of course one of them lost their fucking hand when they stuck it in the cage.
Okay. Okay. That girl lost her hand.
Yeah.
And she was, like...
back to work.
Yeah, that's a fucking champion mentality.
Well, like she said, like, cut it off. Yeah. Like, I'm going to spend years rehabilitating my arm.
Yeah.
And it may not even be able to work completely. Yeah. So just fucking take it. Like, I
don't want to give away everything in this thing because there's definitely some things in it you watch and you go, holy shit.
How is that possible?
Yeah. But the only way I can, because it deals with Joe Exotic, Doc Antle, and Carol Baskins. That's her name, right?
Baskin, yeah. As the main people.
As the main people, with Joe Exotic being the first one, Carol being the second one, and Doc Antle being the third, probably. And then there's, Pablo Escobar or whatever. Not Pablo Escobar, Scarface.
Jeff Lowe?
No. Yeah, there's Jeff Lowe as well. But there was the drug kingpin guy.
The drug kingpin.
In Miami, he was the basis of Scarface, he says.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Who ends up seeming to be the most legitimate person out of all of them. Well, it's because he's owning these cats and not trying to profit from them, where everybody else is trying to profit from them. Even Carol.
You can't come on his property.
Yeah.
Unless you know him.
So, I feel, and you and I discussed it off mic, but I feel like the fascination with Joe Exotic is the same fascination people have with serial killers. You know they're not a good person.
They're unicorns. In the sense that they're mythological things that you would not think to exist.
Out of all. Because Joe's not a good person.
No, he's not.
But didn't you feel like watching it, you're on his side?
It's not that you're on his side. You have sympathy for him.
You're almost rooting for him.
Well, you're in the sense that, is he getting a bad deal? Yes.
Yeah.
So he's getting thrown under the bus by this legitimate criminal entity, being, the guy who's supposedly the redhead who's feeding information to the feds.
Yeah.
Who then brings in Jeff Lowe to help him.
If we're talking towards the end of it, I'm just talking towards even the beginning. You're like,
Well, okay,
he's such an outlandish figure.
He is, and I think that has to do with his popularity, because when at the end of it, when they show him way back when he first started the zoo, it was a refuge.
Yeah,
he was taking in cats that were being disposed of, and he was taking care of them. They need to be protected. They need to go back to their wildlife. Well, then at some point something changes. And it has to be money, sex, and drugs, because that's typically the things that send everybody down a different path. But him being a gay man, basically hoarding in these straight men.
Polygamist?
Being a polygamist.
A country star who didn't actually sing those songs.
Right. It's just, it's so over the top that you're just like, oh my God, this type of person exists.
Yeah, it's great.
Like, and you feel sad for him, even though he's pumping drugs and money into these men to keep them prisoners.
And whether Carol is a horrible person or not, he shouldn't be pretending to shoot her and cut off her head.
No,
and all this
he
stuff
shouldn't. And he felt he could. And, I think that goes back to, the whole idea of freedom of speech. You can say what you want to say, but you can't just act on it. There's a fine line.
Well, more and more you're having to live with the repercussions of what you say, because you can say whatever you want, but
but then you got to step up to the podium when you're called out on it.
I feel like the first 3 episodes were basically explaining to you who Joe Exotic, Doc Antle, and Carol
Baskin
were.
Yeah.
And then you find out more about them, and you're horrified by all. I know most people online are on Joe Exotic's side as far as, but there's something just not right about Carol.
No.
It's just, and the fact that she's, when they're, I really don't want to give everything away.
Right.
But if you're going into this and you haven't seen it, and there's the part where Joe gets dragged by the cat.
Right.
And she says, cologne, you know that if you want to have a tiger eat somebody, you just put sardine oil on them. What?
Well, it would be one of those things that that animals are attracted to. Like, there's a whole pheromones thing. Like,
I understand, but that was a very specific.
It is very specific, and the fact that there's certain people missing, in her world.
The worst person in the whole thing is Jeff Lowe, I think. That guy. He
is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, psychopathic. Killer crazy.
And you were saying, like, if everybody leaves you and leaves your side,
if you're the only one on the bus and everybody else if you're Ted Mosby on the bus,
everybody else isn't the problem, it's you.
Right.
And I honestly,
he's an opportunist.
Yeah.
He wants to develop a relationship to benefit him, and then once the turn happens where he feels that he doesn't want to give anymore, he just takes and reels it in. Like, I was really surprised that rando dude was doing all this work for him for free and wasn't expecting anything.
I feel like Jeff Lowe's going to end up dead, and that other guy's going to be the one that kills him.
Which one?
The guy that was doing all the work.
Oh, well, it's not the best group and ring of people.
No, they're all felons and
criminals.
That's not to say that felons can't be.
They're cooking the books. There's no legitimate accounting there.
Cooking the books, cooking other things.
Yeah, cooking meth. It's just it was really sad, and I don't know. It was a whole pot of crazy.
It's unbelievable.
And to the end, from the beginning to the end, it was just a pot of crazy.
And I want to watch it again.
There's people that wouldn't usually watch things like that, and they broke down and they watched it, and they're like, "Oh my God! Like, how is this real?"
To me, it's the biggest one on there that people are talking about since Making a Murderer.
So I want to know what happened to all this footage that supposedly burned up, because it looks like it did not burn up, because they were showing it in the documentary.
Yeah, and they said don't show that.
Right.
With his third husband. They were showing some stuff.
Right.
Some paperwork, some hard drives.
Yeah, some computer towers.
There's going to be another season.
I would think so, too. And that guy who did that documentary, man, he's lucky he got out of that alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think they would have blown up that trailer with him in it if they could have.
Probably. And, I mean, God, it's so good. It's so good. They have to make another season.
Well,
because at the end,
he's going to appeal his conviction.
Spoilers, yeah. Not only that, but the information he gives to take other people down.
Right. For sure.
They have to make more.
Well, there's a pot of money, on the other side of that rainbow.
Well, there was, Making a
How
Murderer...
many downloads did it have in, the first week that it was out?
Making a Murderer was filmed for, 10 years, and then, they did another season.
Right.
But not only is this, to me, better than Making a Murderer, but it's hitting at a time where all of us have to stay indoors.
It's killing time.
And everybody is just it's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. I was really surprised, and I'm so glad that we watched it and that someone, reaffirmed my idea to actually watch it. Because I saw it and I was like, that looks like something I'd like.
Well, it just happens to be that, everybody is talking about it. Everybody. It's not, it's just...
Celebrities, regular people, everybody's on this train.
This guy has directed one thing, and it's Tiger King.
Well, he'll be hired again, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure he's getting calls.
I'm sure he's getting calls to say, hey, you need to do another season.
We got to follow up, man.
Because Joe would keep talking to him. He just wants to talk to somebody.
Right. No, he wants the publicity. He needs his ego stroked for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
The Tiger King. But that's a solid A. I loved this documentary.
It was great.
It's my favorite since The Jinx. The Jinx, I still think, is
that
my
the
favorite.
Crown?
It is.
Okay.
Because there's nothing that has a payoff as big as The Jinx.
Even though he's arguing that that's not all he said in court.
Doesn't matter. Nothing has a payoff like that. It's in such an aw shit moment. And there is an aw shit moment, not like that. But
there's
in Tiger King, there's one particular that you're just like, oh my God.
Yes. No, I know what you're talking about.
But, no, solid A. I can't recommend it enough. If you haven't watched it...
Go watch it.
Go watch it, because it is amazing.
You'll watch it in a couple days.
Yeah.
Easy. If not one sitting.
Yeah. And to keep going up and down and up and down. So C for McMillions, A+, 10 out of 10 for me, for Tiger King. Down to a movie that I had been wanting to watch for a long time, Overlord.
Okay.
So I've been wanting to watch Overlord since I saw the trailers, and...
How did you feel about it,
It did not live up to it for me.
It felt really disjointed.
Yeah, it
felt like it was modern, but not.
It felt like separate movies. I like the style. The filming was great. The atmosphere was great. Costumes, everything like that. The gore, and it wasn't good to me. It wasn't even, as our fellow podcaster would say, Alan said, a popcorn movie. It didn't even feel like that to me. It just felt...
Oh, no. It was a back burner movie.
That's the perfect explanation. That's a perfect...
We're going to do this movie. It's kind of got a good idea.
But everybody said it was good. And I just felt it wasn't even average.
No. It's for sure a D movie.
It was meh.
Especially...
I like Wyatt Russell.
Yeah.
I've seen him in a couple things and I've liked him in them. And Euron Greyjoy was in it.
He was.
And he was fairly good. The acting was fine too. It was weird that we started watching Umbrella Academy and there was a guy that was in that's also in this, and I've never seen him before. He's in two things I'm watching in one weekend.
That was strange.
But it was just an okay movie. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody.
No.
I wouldn't really...
There's so many other things that you can watch.
Yeah, I like the gore in it because it's part horror, part war.
The story around what they were doing with the people was interesting.
Yes, and it's World War II. It's Nazis and Nazis doing Nazi things. Well, there was all the
reanimation.
Yeah,
things.
there's all the occult and all the weird things that Hitler was into and stuff like that. But and it has to do with that. But the payoff wasn't very good.
Well, not only that, the application wasn't very good.
Yeah, both of those things. It was not that good. I wouldn't recommend it. For the gore alone, I
wonder how much money it cost to make that movie.
Not much.
And then how much money they made on it.
Oh, I bet you they made their money back.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. Because, I thought it had good reviews.
I don't know from whom.
It was a $38 million budget. That's a low budget.
Okay. How much did it make? $38 million. They could have given me that money.
It did a worldwide gross of 41.7.
Okay, so they at least made their money back.
So I mean, they didn't lose any money. Well, so many things lose money.
That's true. Well, just think about right now.
Yeah, we don't really know what the movie
industry.
Yeah,
some people will be fine, but no, it was. I felt like we had to just finish it.
Yeah,
because we had started it.
Yeah,
and I didn't really want to, but it's like I guess we'll finish this movie.
Yeah, I know. We have other movies that people have recommended to us that we're kind of cataloging right now to watch. I'm
totally down to watch 9 to 5. I've watched Working Girl. I don't know if you've ever watched that. Mm-hmm. I would totally watch that movie, but then I'd want to watch Steel Magnolias after it.
There's, I haven't seen we've had some friends. Brian recommended some stuff. Holly recommended some stuff. There's some of her friends from Seattle recommended some stuff. So we do have some movies that have been recommended. So we have a list of things and movies that we've been wanting to watch. Like I still want to watch Hereditary.
Yes.
And stuff. But to close out this episode, I don't know if you all out there are familiar with Lil Dicky. But he has a show on FXX now just called Dave, which I think has a chance to be one of the best comedies on TV right now. It is so funny.
It's subtly funny.
But also hits you with such a serious episode in the 4th episode that is not only serious, but serious, funny, and shot and cut so well that it just kind of it hits so hard. And I mean, you can call things that have to do with mental illness. I wouldn't want to say cliche right now, but
over awareness,
maybe overused.
Okay.
But I don't think it can be overused in this way. One being done right and being presented correctly and not being extorted.
Okay, so they're not doing it for the sake of getting a laugh or getting a payoff or anything like that.
No, they were doing it because it was meant to be done.
Well, it explains his behavior.
Yes, and it was so amazingly good episode that I felt the need to post about it and tell people about it and vocalize about it.
And you're not the only one.
No, it's so amazing.
It is great. And
we're just talking about one of the serious episodes in it.
Right.
I'm surprised at how funny it is because I like his rap and I like how funny it is and I like that he's really good at his craft while being funny. But he does a really good job just in the parts that he's not talking about rap, where he's just being him.
Right.
Where he's just being Dave.
Like trying to figure out how he's going to rap at a kid's funeral?
Yes, like that. How he's going to rap at a kid's funeral for his first performance ever.
Wearing whatever freaking ungodly clothes that they're picking out for him.
But no, the serious episode has to do with his hype man, Gata. And it's just a really good episode. And he seems like a genuine guy. And the fact that he's not an actor...
No.
And he did that in that episode. It was just like, whoa.
So I guess my question is going to be, is the guy who's being his studio person his actual studio guy?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Because, that would be interesting. I don't think so, but it's possible. I guess when you finally get to bring yourself up and make some money, you're going to bring those
You're going to bring your people with you.
So, and that's what you're kind of supposed to do, especially in those type of circles with the music industry. They all do that.
Yeah.
They kind of bring people with them and, help highlight those people. But no, like, I really liked, like, the infomercial, like, thing that they were doing for the show to, like, spotlight the show. Mm-hmm. Like him in his stupid turtleneck, and then he's standing there with the guys, and they're like all robotic when they're like doing. But no, it's I enjoy his rap too. The milking table got me. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
And his roommate is just like an average person that you would see like at the bank.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
And it's just like he's plopped in there. And I think one of my favorite scenes is when he's trying to get his internet to work so he can watch a Fish concert. And Gator's like, well, when's the act? He's like, no, this is it.
This is it, yeah. He's like, yeah.
He's like, this is it. And I've never gotten into Fish. No. I think that's like a certain special like group of people, and you have to like apply to get into that group. I don't know. I think he's an actor, in all honesty. His studio guy. He's straight. No, he's not.
I mean, I don't think so. Like, I'm not too familiar with it, but like... no, I think he's a rapper.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, obviously, I'm not big into the culture, so I couldn't speak to that. I can only speak to what I know. But this show is great.
It is really good.
I can't say enough good things about it, because I like when...
Travis Taco Bennett.
Yeah, Bennett?
Sorry, Bennett.
He's
a writer and actor.
Yeah, but if you look at his IMDb filmography, it's almost all producer, soundtrack.
Taco.
Yeah, it's mostly that. And if you look up his Wikipedia, it says that he's part of a rap group.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
No, I really like the show. I like a show that can be funny but hit you with drama every once in a while.
Well, there's a big, push right now, just especially with what we're dealing with being at home.
Yeah.
People being stuck inside the house, they have more time to internalize. That leads to other mental, things that you start to spiral and fall down rabbit holes. Like, I'll find myself losing, time doing nothing. And it's really hard because then I'm like, shit, I need to do this. I have laundry to do. And you just kind of fall down this like shame spiral.
It feels like the days are so long and so short at the same time.
I've had problems remembering what day it is.
Yeah.
Like, I woke up this morning when my alarm went off and I was like, wait, what's happening? I have to work.
When the alarm's gone off, I've asked you if I have to get up. Like, right. I don't know what days I have to get up and go out
Which
anymore.
Is bizarre because there's some days where I don't even go outside.
Mm-hmm. It sucks.
Which is weird because I'm not used to that. I'm used to, taking a run on my lunch if I'm home for the day. Or I'm used to waking up early and going into the office and then, battling traffic home to go get the kids to get them to practice or whatever. So when you don't leave your house... Mm-hmm. You start to get really, really weird.
Yeah, no, I had to... So, today was the first day in 3 weeks that we had to go to the store.
Right.
I go to the store because I already have to go out. So, I'm like, nobody else has to go out but me. So, I had to... It was 71 degrees outside today. I was driving with the windows down. I had to go to one end of town and the other. I'm like, it's like a normal day, and it felt good. Like, it felt nice to be out in the sun. It felt nice to go grocery shopping. Even if I had my hand sanitizer, my Clorox wipes, and my gloves on. Even if I wiped down every single thing that came into the house. And then I showered right afterwards. Like, I'm not letting things... I could be overly precautious, but why risk it?
Right.
And, we're not hoarders. We're not buying... Like, I bought an extra box of chicken nuggets. Like, I'm not buying... I'm not buying a 6-month supply of stuff.
No.
Like, if we can get away with going every 3 weeks, that's great.
Yeah.
But I'll be happy... we're lucky, but I'll be happy when things go back to normal.
Well, I'm starting to get concerned for our youngest child because he's becoming a recluse.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to leave the house. He doesn't want to go outside.
And we worked so hard to get on all that stuff.
He, will go on a walk for like 20, 30 minutes and, my feet are hurting, which I know means I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
It's not that his feet are hurting.
He did that here and there before.
Right.
The thing that's promising is he's talking the last 3 days, as much as it sucks, he's talking about missing his teacher and his friends.
And I think that's hard too, is because he does miss them and he doesn't like talking about it because it makes him upset.
Yeah.
And then, he also doesn't have an outlet to fulfill those needs because he sees our oldest get to do Zoom meetings with his class and teacher.
Or play Fortnite with his friends.
Right, and talk to his friends. And, it's
hard.
hard.
He's in a weird position.
He's in a really weird position.
But I'd still rather deal with a 7 and 10-year-old than a 13 and 16-year-old or a...
Oh, Jesus.
Inside, what I mean?
Well, I've only seen a couple of kids walking around. They don't seem to be loitering or doing anything like that. that's good. I do see a lot of walkers all the time.
But we walked today and didn't run into anybody until like 20 minutes into our walk. And they crossed the street.
Right. No, they did.
And then we didn't run into anybody on the way back.
We ran into our family up the street.
Oh, yeah, we did.
But, I honestly wish we had our bikes up and running and
I know.
We can get out and do things like that. And it's hard. And hopefully it'll be over sooner than later. But it's looking like another 4 weeks of fun in the sun at home.
At least. But, if it's sunny outside, we can spend more time. But people don't care about this.
No, they don't.
If you like these episodes, let us know. We'll try to do these every Friday.
So what do we have coming up? Like, do we have anything that we're going to watch? Well, we started Boardwalk Empire.
Oh, yeah, we did. And that's really good so far.
So we have a lot of seasons to watch.
Yeah, we have
so
5 seasons of that. We'll talk Murder Falcon on the next episode.
Okay.
We're both big fans of his. And, I only read a couple issues of it.
Okay.
And I'd like to finish it. We can talk about that. So we can talk about Murder Falcon. If you have a movie that you'd like to recommend to us, could send it to me. My Twitter and Instagram is open. It's 9to5nerds, and it's open for you to just send me stuff. But we have a list
documentaries we like to watch.
Yeah, we have a list of things we need to watch. After this, I'm just going to watch Scrubs and go to sleep. But
Trials of Gabriel Fernandez was really good. Robert didn't watch it; he couldn't watch that, so I won't talk about it.
I don't watch things that have to do with children getting hurt or murdered, unless it's Mindhunters. I don't blame you,
but it was very, very good. And
we want to watch the Aaron Hernandez documentary.
Yes. I
want to watch Don't Fuck with Cats.
Yes.
And there's a couple other Netflix shows that we want to watch too. So we'll get on this. It's long. We're gonna do it anyways if you like it or not. But let us know if you like it anyways, because it's nice to hear. But that'll be this week's episode. We'll be back soon. We're out.